Now in 4 News Now at 6, the pinpoint cause of the Gray Fire that wiped out hundreds of homes and the power company that investigators say failed the people who lost everything in Medical Lake.
I'm tracking a chance of snow for the end of the work week. Which areas will be impacted in your first alert forecast?
And more resources will soon be coming to Coeur d'Alene to fight the opioid crisis, how a new task force is meant to help save lives. You're watching 4 News Now at 6 o'clock. We now know what caused the Gray Fire at Medical Lake that destroyed hundreds of homes and left one person dead. Thanks for joining us tonight. I'm Derek Dice. Investigators say sparks from an arcing wire owned by Inland Power caused a nearby patch of grass to catch fire. In this video, you can see just how fast that fire spread, with this giant plume of smoke visible from all over Spokane County. According to the Department of Natural Resources, one woman called Inland Power multiple times, alerting them about a faulty yard light with that arcing wire before the fire ever started. That woman saying Inland Power never responded. Marissa Rio talked to a man who saw it all and is sharing his story for the first time.
This is the area where the fire all started. I spoke with the man who's one of the first people here at the scene, and he said the fire was still small when he arrived, so he tried to save the two buildings right behind me. The wind then pushed the fire out that way, and it was then that he knew it was out of their control.
Just was kind of a blink of an eye, and next thing you know, it's, we're fighting a fire. It was wild.
A scene out of a horror movie is now one of Dave's most traumatic memories. Dave was driving with his son when he saw the smoke. When he arrived to the property, he sprung into action, banging on the door of the lone house with the family inside.
They did not respond, and I kept looking over my shoulder, watching the fire get bigger, and it was like, they need to get out here now because I have work to do.
Once they answered, Dave jumped on a tractor to save the two wooden structures. The fire was still small, so he thought he and a few others could handle it. But an angry wind gust blew through and pushed the fire through the hills.
And once it hit those trees, it was like a bomb going off. The heat was immense. And, I literally screamed out to them, "You guys okay?" And they were like, "That was a hot one." I mean, it was close to being dangerous for us in a lot of senses.
That was the turning point.
Something in me at that moment said, "You just lost. You're not going to win this. It's gone."
Dave says the fire continued to race up the hills. It was all on the firefighters now. Walking through the property today, you can see the burn scars that are still etched into the land.
You can see that's the fire line that was going toward the west.
From the soil to the trees. It took months for Dave to return here, and to think that this horrific day all started because of arcing wires on this security light. You can watch the full interview with David Uhas on our website at KXLY.com. Reporting in the West Plains, Marissa Rio, 4 News Now.
Well, following those DNR findings, many people in the Medical Lake community reacted today to what caused some of their friends and neighbors to lose everything. Our Hunter Bertram was there when a man from out of town was visiting his friend and discovered they were missing, and so was their home.
I was coming in from the coast and looked across the lake right here, and holy total devastation. I don't even know where they're at. So I have to do some more research and find him and see what's going on.
The man you just saw told me he was in town to visit a lifelong friend, but when he showed up, nothing was there.
Oh yeah, I've seen fire damage before, but not ever to friends like this,
His friend's property had been scorched, leaving nothing but an empty lot behind, which is a reality not only him, but others are facing following the Gray Fire.
So I heard that people actually had to jump in the water. I wonder if my friends had to.
Terry Andrews did have to escape the fire by water in a boat.
It stinks that it happened. It really does. Everybody was shocked and devastated and overwhelmed. It's obviously, I can only speak for myself, but
ultimately Terry lost his home from the fire. Even though the community discovered today what the cause was behind the Gray Fire, many are still trying to remain hopeful as they have a long road ahead to go.
It's a long road, and so we're kind of past the sprint stage. We're in the marathon stage, and so some people, you're feeling that. I think some of us are getting a second wind.
A second wind that Terry says his community should fuel by taking the cause of the fire and turning it into motivation rather than frustration.
We're seeing the community come together. We're seeing people rally and support one another and work together, and that's the encouraging thing. So whoever's to blame, I don't know, but I know that we're in this together and we're going to get through it together.
Reporting in Medical Lake, Hunter Bertram, 4 News Now.
That's a great attitude. Of course, the Gray Fire was one of two major wildfires that tore through parts of Spokane County in August. The Oregon Road Fire destroyed 126 homes near Elk. Back in September, investigators determined the fire was human caused, meaning they ruled out all natural causes like lightning. We reached out to DNR to see if there are any updates on this investigation. They could only tell us it involved spontaneous combustion. Now, these two fires alone caused millions of dollars in damages. Now, two separate bills are making their way through the legislature to make sure the state has enough funding for their long-term recovery programs. One bill would allow homeowners to rebuild with less restrictive guidelines by using a previous building and energy code. Another would require the military department and state to assist in long-term recovery efforts and planning. All right, in your First Alert forecast tonight, Chris Crocker is making her way out to the set. We have been talking about a little bit cooler weather coming our way and maybe even a little bit of snow that some people might not actually complain about given how dry we've been, or at least not dry, but how less snow we've gotten over this last month.
Yes, that is absolutely right. And we are going to hear from Matt Gray with more on that later in the broadcast. But first, let's talk about the 4 things we need to know about our weather. It is going to be cooler with occasional rain or snow. Some light snow on Friday morning. You may have some accumulations, particularly in North Idaho, the central panhandle, and even down on portions of the Palouse. But any snow that we do receive will be minor, and I'll show you some of the snowfall totals we're expecting in just a moment. Right now on our radar, it is very, very quiet until we get down in the south and we see some snow falling in parts of the southern panhandle. We've had some sprinkles today in Lewiston, but that has not been making its way in our direction. Our forecast radar, starting off at our current time, though, shows that we are going to start to see some of that snow moving further to the north into the central panhandle overnight. A few flurries in the Northeast Mountains and North Idaho through tomorrow morning. Here's Thursday at 8 a.m. with some light snow in the Idaho Panhandle, down through the central Panhandle and even over the Palouse. Here's a look at your Thursday planner. By the time we see any precipitation in the Spokane area, and it's not a very good chance, it will likely be in the form of rain because temperatures will be well above freezing. 39 our high, which is just about average, cooler than it has been, but not necessarily cold. We do have the chance to see a little bit of snow in Spokane. I'll tell you all about that and have your 7-day forecast in just a few minutes, Derek.
All right, Chris, thank you. Well, a lot of us are dealing with really high energy bills right now, but Avista customers can take advantage of a free service to show you how to save some money. It's called a home energy audit. John Owen's home was built in 1916, so he knows it's not energy efficient. Avista's energy services professional found gaps and leaks in his insulation, old windows that won't keep out the cold in the winter or the heat in the summer, and gaps around the front door that let in a lot of air. But because of the audit, John says he's now ready to make some changes to save money in the long run.
This will help me kind of know what things I can do and how to do it right, and what things I just need to accept that somebody else is going to need to come in and do it.
We'll tell you how much Avista says you can realistically expect to save with a few changes and how you can use their online energy manager to better understand how your energy is being used in my special report tomorrow on Good Morning Northwest. All right, still ahead, meteorologist Matt Gray is taking a look at snow trends to see if we can expect any more major snowstorms in the valleys this winter. And a bill that would have increased border security failed to pass on Capitol Hill. Why some say Republicans are to blame, coming up on 4 News Now at 6.
Connect with 4 News Now on KXLY+.
Save your greed!
Spokane Tribe Resort and Casino brings you actor and comedian Tracy Morgan to Spokane Live. Saturday, February 24th. Tickets are available online now at SpokaneTribeCasino.com. Entertainment without limits.
Emma? My name's Emma, too. Are you? Yeah, you. In a few years. How? You went back to school. Finished your degree.
Face your future with Whitworth University. For a limited time, Pape Machinery is blowing out select model year 2023 inventory at dealer cost. Pick up a brand new John Deere compact tractor for a fraction of the original price. Stop by Pape Machinery Ag and Turf today to get started.
When your child has moderate to severe eczema, it's okay for them to show off. Show off their clearer skin and noticeably less itch with Dupixent. Because children 6 months and older with eczema have plenty of reasons to show off their skin. With Dupixent, the #1 prescribed biologic by dermatologists and allergists, they can stay ahead of their eczema. It helps block a key source of inflammation inside the body that can cause eczema to help heal your child's skin from within. Serious allergic reactions can occur that can be severe. Tell your doctor about new or worsening eye problems, such as eye pain or vision changes, including blurred vision, joint aches and pain, or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines without talking to your doctor. Show off to the world. Ask your child's eczema specialist about Dupixent.
Spokane Tribe Resort and Casino brings you actor and comedian Tracy Morgan to Spokane Live. Saturday, February 24th. Tickets are available online now at SpokaneTribeCasino.com. Entertainment without limits.
The hidden dangers of restaurant freezers.
Death in a freezer happens a lot more than we think.
Next, Inside Edition. How long would you last if the cooler door suddenly closes on you and you can't get out?
And when this door closes and you hear that latch, panic.
Then, Super Bowl Mania with Lisa Guerrero and special Super Bowl correspondent Maggie Sajak. Watch the next Inside Edition.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Inside Edition at 7.
All right, take a look at this video of a man climbing up the Sphere in Las Vegas. The man was identified as Maison Deschamps, who's known as pro-life Spider-Man. He's now sitting in a jail cell and facing a charge for destroying property. Deschamps has performed similar stunts in the past. In 2021, he climbed the exterior of a hotel casino to protest Nevada's COVID-19 health orders. And in 2022, he was arrested for scaling the Salesforce Tower in San Francisco. Wow. All right, the Coeur d'Alene Police Department saw at least 193 overdose-related calls just last year, and that's only how many were actually called in. The department just received a green light to form a brand new opioid task force, which will find out where these drugs are coming from and get people the treatment they need. Bronte Sorotsky tells us how soon we could see it up and running.
This new task force will give police more resources when it comes to battling the opioid crisis here locally.
Pretty soon everyone's going to know someone who is affected in some way by the opioid crisis.
That's why the Coeur d'Alene Police Department says there is a sense of urgency to get this task force together. It's actually been in the works for a few years, but is finally happening now following a class action lawsuit against opioid manufacturers. Money from the lawsuit will fund the task force for at least 4 years.
And after that, we'll report back to council on the effectiveness of the program and the task force and determine with our elected leaders whether they want to continue the program or add to it or disband it altogether.
Teresa Davis at the North Idaho Alliance of Care wants to see more awareness from community members about drug use happening in Coeur d'Alene.
We do have drug use in our community. We have what we're seeing is a poly drug use in our area in terms of methamphetamine being mixed with fentanyl.
She works with people battling addiction firsthand.
I'm a mentor to them, and if they need resources, I'm able to help them. I mean, in terms of like where are the local food banks, how to get on housing.
Reacting to the news of the soon-to-be task force, she says the more resources, the better.
I mean, we don't have enough resources in our area. Sometimes clients have to go into Spokane.
Because the task force hasn't been funded yet, there's no set date for its formation. In the meantime, anyone in need of addiction help can drop by North Idaho Alliance of Care Monday through Friday from 9 to 5. Reporting in Coeur d'Alene, Bronte Sorotsky, 4 News Now.
Temperatures today, we're running above average. We're heading back to average in the forecast, but I also want to point out to you the sunset time, 5 o'clock. We've gotten more than an hour of time on the end of the day. We're still in the 7 o'clock hour for our sunset, but signs of spring, at least, especially since we're talking about snow in the 7-day forecast. That's coming up after the break.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Par, family owned since 1930. Go where the builders go.
What are you going to build? This Valentine's Day, get a Heart Baker pizza from Papa Murphy's. You complete us. And we mean that literally. With Take and Bake, we prepare it, you make it yours. So make us yours today for just $11. Papa Murphy's, change the way you pizza.
I'm Mark Peterson, the Extreme Team and Horizon Credit Union, ready to take on our next job. If you know of a project that needs an Extreme Team makeover, go to KXLY.com to nominate it. Our thanks to Horizon Credit Union for sponsoring the 4 News Now Extreme Team.
Now a joke from York's Fresh Market. Why do artichokes love Valentine's Day? Because they have a heart.
When it's time to replace that old furnace or water heater, your choice of contractor is obvious. Give the experts at Bill's Heating and Air a call. We offer same-day estimates, free second opinions, and the lowest price guarantee. And there's never been a better time to upgrade, because now we're offering financing as low as 0% for 60 months. You heard that right. 5 years with no interest. So call the area's largest and most trusted HVAC contractor today, before this amazing offer expires.
You heard it was a hit. You heard it was a smash. A wonder. A phenomenon. An international sensation. But you haven't heard them.
Get your tickets at BroadwaySpokane.com today.
My name is Bob Rambo, and this is my Summit Cancer Center story. I had lymphoma. I was kind of scared to death, and the doctors recommended I go to Summit Cancer Center. Everybody on the staff there is super neat, nice, and it's kind of like a homecoming. I had lymphoma, and they cured that. I'm very thankful for this cancer center.
This Valentine's Day, get a Heart Baker pizza from Papa Murphy's. You complete us. And we mean that literally. With Take and Bake, we prepare it, you make it yours. So make us yours today for just $11. Papa Murphy's, change the way you pizza.
Welcome back. Here is a live look over downtown Spokane right now, where our team of experts are tracking the return of wet weather. And Chris, what are the chances we might be seeing some snow?
Right here, where you and I are, outside, right here. It's 0% in the 4 News, unless someone throws snowballs at us. But in Spokane, it is very low, like maybe a few flurries, but we do have some chances elsewhere around the region. But let's start with our chance of precipitation on Thursday. It's not very impressive. Between 20 and 30% of chance of measurable precipitation throughout the day. This system, and it is a weak one, just seems to favor the mountain areas, and even at that, it doesn't look very impressive. Let's take a look at our forecast radar, starting off at 8 o'clock Thursday morning, with snow through the mountains of the southern panhandle, the central panhandle, the northern panhandle, and a little bit in the northeast mountains. Almost everywhere you see that blue is the higher terrain. Very little snow expected in the valleys. As we go through the day, little bit of precipitation in eastern Washington. May see a flurry or a sprinkle in Coeur d'Alene, but it really is continuing to favor those areas where there are mountains around. Moscow, Pullman, you have a better chance to see some measurable snow as we get into Friday morning, and then that precipitation moves away, and we are drying out for the rest of the day on Friday, other than an isolated mountain snow shower. Here's a look at our precipitation total through Thursday. It is going to be in the hundredths of an inch in Spokane and Coeur d'Alene, Sandpoint, Bonners Ferry. Little bit higher as we get into that central and southern panhandle area and down on the Palouse and the Lewiston area, but still not very impressive in terms of forecast snow through Friday. A flurry or two in Spokane, tenths of an inch in Sandpoint, Coeur d'Alene. We're keeping the snow in the mountain areas and in the central panhandle. Pullman, you could be in the 3/10 of an inch range, half-inch range over in Moscow. It's certainly going to be cold enough at night to snow. Our overnight lows finally dropping below freezing in the 7-day forecast, but still a little above average. This white line is our average high. We are going to be staying above freezing tonight thanks to the clouds. Here's a look at your planning forecast. Possibility of a little rain or snow on Thursday, but measurable precipitation will be hard to come by until we get into those mountain areas. Friday, a little bit of snow possible in the morning, but it is going to be very spotty. Any snow, no matter how little, is notable as we come down to the final few weeks of the snow season in the inland Northwest. Meteorologist Matt Gray is keeping an eye on long-term trends that are all saying one thing: there may not be much more snow coming this winter. Matt?
All right, thank you, Chris. And you know, it's pretty funny. We started talking about El Nino this time last year and what it might mean for the winter we're in right now. And I tell you what, look at where we're at today. It has been hard to get snow this winter, and it's been even harder for it to stick around for a long time. Now, the last time Spokane saw measurable snow was back on January 19th. That happens to be 19 days ago. Now, if we don't get snow soon, I think this streak might be going on much, much longer. Now, why do I believe that? The first part is a trend in the weather pattern for later on this month. Computer models keep showing high pressure building over the Northwest. That's starting this weekend, and you saw the results on the back end of Chris's forecast. There is a little bit of drier weather that's going to be coming up for us. Now, looking into the week beyond, that's where things get really interesting. A strong and stable pattern setting up with a low in the Pacific, a high over Alaska in the Northwest, and a low off the Atlantic coast. This is not a pattern that leads to significant wet weather. The Climate Prediction Center, they think the same as well. The end of February into early March, likely to be warmer and likely to be drier as well around here. So when is the snow coming? For the rest of February, it doesn't look promising. And the second factor then becomes history as we get into March, not on our side. February averages 8 inches of snow. March averages 4. April averages less than 1. And over the next 8 weeks, Spokane, the average is about 10.6 inches of snow or so. However, in the 9 El Nino winters over the past 30 years, only one of those was above average. 6 of the other ones had less than 5 inches of snow during that 8-week time period we're about to come into. History not on our side, neither is the forecast. And so I ask again, where is the snow going to be coming from? To get even to just an average El Nino winter, we've got almost 11 inches to go that we'll need over the next couple of months. And I tell you what, the way things are going, I would not be holding my breath for that. Derek?
All right, Matt. Well, the way you stream sports is about to change. Coming up, how much you could expect to pay to watch all of your favorite teams using one app.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Halligan, the water wizard of Oz.
Experience the Coeur d'Alene Boat Expo. Explore better boats, the largest selection of inventory, and the biggest savings, all under one roof, inside the region's largest indoor showroom. Discover the latest models from the industry's best brands, including Cobalt, Malibu, Axis, Barletta, Chris-Craft, Harris, Regal, and Cruisers Yachts, plus our huge display of pre-owned inventory. Mark your calendars and make waves with us at the biggest event of the year, happening February 1st through February 10th. The Coeur d'Alene Boat Expo. Better boats, better prices, better event.
When I was told I had a brain tumor, my life disappeared in a moment. I feared for my future, but even more, I feared for the ones I love. How would they move on without me? But when my doctor told me about the Gamma Knife of Spokane, everything changed. I can get my brain tumor treated in just one day and continue living the life I love. Because of Gamma Knife, I have hope.
Through early learning and other programs matched to the needs of families, Community-Minded Enterprises helps overcome barriers.
We have 3 locations. We create high-quality educational opportunities for our children to thrive in our classrooms. We have mental health consultants that come into our classrooms and work with our teachers one-on-one. We are dedicated to enhancing our community to get our children ready for kindergarten and beyond.
Numerica Cares for Kids is honored to donate $1,000 to support community-minded enterprises. This is how Numerica Cares for Kids.
From Tina Fey and the creator of Saturday Night Live comes Mean Girls, the hilarious hit Broadway musical.
Wait, why don't I know you?
Come see Mean Girls at First Interstate Center for the Arts, March 5th and 6th. Tickets at BroadwaySpokane.com.
This February, love is in the air at the Kootenai Casino in Bonners Ferry. With sweetheart deals on rooms, dining, and the spa, and thousands of dollars in giveaways. Stay at the Kootenai Falls Lodge starting at $59 midweek or upgrade to a Riverview room for $79. Bring your honey and win some money. Book your getaway today. Call 888-YOU-ARE-LUCKY or visit KootenaiRiverInn.com.
4 News Now is brought to you by the Cal Superstore in Airway Heights.
Around the nation now, a bipartisan border deal and foreign aid package failed to pass a Senate vote after months of negotiations. Democrats say it's because Republicans are getting their marching orders from former President Donald Trump. Trump has repeatedly attacked the bill, saying it doesn't go far enough as he makes the border a central campaign issue in his race for the White House. CNN's Julia Benbrook has the story.
The motion is not agreed to.
A Senate vote on a major bipartisan border deal and foreign aid package failed Wednesday afternoon. Republicans demanded that border security be a part of the bill, but turned against it after facing pressure from former President Donald Trump.
My colleagues in the United States Senate have decided that they don't actually want this solution and don't want to secure the border.
Several GOP senators insist their opposition to the bill has nothing to do with Trump's public comments bashing it.
This just blew up in Leader McConnell's face, and now he's trying to blame President Trump, who, to the best of my knowledge, I haven't talked to him. I'm not sure anybody on the stage has talked to him. We wanted to secure the border. That is why we are voting no.
The $118 billion bill also includes aid to Ukraine and Israel, 2 U.S. allies at a time of war. It also funds humanitarian assistance for civilians in Gaza. On Tuesday, President Joe Biden weighed in on the deal debacle.
By opposing this bill, they're denying aid to the people who are really suffering and desperately need help. So Republicans have to decide, who do they serve? Donald Trump or the American people?
Reporting in Washington, I'm Julia Benbrook.
Now, an Illinois court is preparing to hear a lawsuit that's looking to block Donald Trump from that state's ballot. Today, a judge rejected an attempt by Trump to pause the 14th Amendment case and scheduled a hearing for next Friday. The purpose of that hearing will be to discuss the merits of the case. The former president wants to wait until the U.S. Supreme Court hears a similar case that started in Colorado. Opening arguments there are set to begin tomorrow. What the Supreme Court decides in that instance is expected to set national precedent for every state to follow. 3 years of high inflation plus higher interest rates to tame it have equaled more financial stress on families, especially when it comes to credit cards.
More people are carrying more credit card debt for longer periods of time. We're talking record high balances, record high interest rates. It's a tough combination, unfortunately.
The Federal Reserve Bank of New York said credit card balances rose to a new high of $1.13 trillion in the final 3 months of 2023. Credit card and auto loan delinquencies pushed past pre-pandemic levels to their highest levels in more than a decade. Now, typically, credit card balances fall in the first quarter of the year, but in 2023, they didn't, which can be a troubling sign about consumers' ability to keep up.
People always have this enthusiasm about New Year's resolutions and debt payoff, and you knock out that holiday debt hangover. Last year, people really weren't able to do that, and that was largely because of high prices and high rates, and I do worry that we may see some of the same this year.
Researchers at the New York Fed believe the post-pandemic resumption of federal student loan payments has added to the financial stress, especially for people ages 30 to 39. 2 of 3 studies cited by a Texas judge to suspend federal approval of the abortion pill mifepristone have been retracted. Researchers saying the 2 studies were faulty. They say they were based on unreliable data and that there were conflicts of interest between the researchers and the anti-abortion movement. The U.S. Supreme Court is expected to hear arguments on mifepristone next month, so the drug remains available pending the appeals process. All right, we have much more coming up tonight at 6:30, including which streaming platforms are joining forces to put all their sports content into one place. And it's do or die time for the Gonzaga men's basketball team. How a loss tonight against Portland, which doesn't look likely right now, could affect their chances of making the NCAA tournament. We'll be right back.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Our motto here at Holiday Heating is fixed right or it's free. That means that we'll get the job done right the first time, and if we don't,
we will own up to that and we will take care of it for you for free.
Fixed right or it's free means that we are accountable for the 100% satisfaction of our customers.
We'll come back and get the job done and with no additional charge to the customer.
We are humans and we do make mistakes, but we are here to make it right and make sure our customers know that.
When I heard about Northern Quest's $60,000 Lucky Leap Day giveaway with a chance to leap your way to $30K, I was like, what? Then I found out it's only for humans, and now I'm all like,
The $60,000 Lucky Leap Day giveaway at Northern Quest. Play daily to enter for a shot at the $30,000 grand prize drawing on February 29th. Details at northernquest.com.
Home. It's both a place and a feeling. At yours, you strive to make new memories, create traditions, share stories, find the fun, embrace the surprises, and celebrate moments big and small. Memories are made at home, in every room, in every moment. Make your house feel like home at the Tin Roof.
This Valentine's, if you're searching for something tough, reliable, and exciting, then you need to visit Findlay Downtown Toyota.
This year, fall in love with a new RAV4 or Highlander, or maybe a Tundra or Tacoma truck. Plus, check out the sweet lease options available now. And if you're looking for a quality used vehicle, we've got hot buys available now and ready to roll.
This February, fall in love with a new vehicle from Findlay.
E.T.
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 E.T. E.T.
E.T.
E.T. Hi, E.T.
Wow.
Only on E.T.
Watch 4 News Now at 6 and Entertainment Tonight at 7:30.
What if you could buy Sir Elton John's grand piano, a pair of his sunglasses, his Bentley convertible, even Elton's signed pinball machine? Tomorrow morning on GMA, you're about to get the first look at the Elton John auction. And wait until you see what's for sale that you could buy on Good Morning America.
Live from downtown Spokane, this is 4 News Now at 6:30.
Well, Gonzaga and Portland are now in the second half at the McCarthy Athletic Center. It's the Zags' first game since their loss to St. Mary's over the weekend. It's also the first game at the Kennel since the student section threw trash and other debris on the court during Saturday's game. So far, there hasn't been any of that tonight. As for Gonzaga, they lead this one 83-50 with a little more than 7 minutes to go. GU started the game on a 19-1 run and hit 9 three-pointers in the first half. They're now up to 13 threes. We're now going to send it over to sports director Julian Minnesone with what a win tonight would mean for the Bulldogs.
Well, Gonzaga is in serious danger of missing the NCAA tournament for the first time since 1998. The Bulldogs are not projected to make the big dance, according to a number of media outlets, including ESPN and CBS. Not only is tonight a must-win, but Saturday's game against Kentucky is crucial as well. Gonzaga lacks a quality win this season. They are 0-5 against Quad 1 teams, otherwise known as the upper quadrant of teams in college basketball. Kentucky is ranked 17th in the country. A win for Gonzaga would give them a Quad 1 win and could put them back into the tournament conversation. If Gonzaga loses to Kentucky or any other team for that matter, the Bulldogs will most likely have to win the WCC tournament to earn a spot in the NCAA tournament. But first things first, Gonzaga has to finish the job against Portland. We will have highlights and post-game reaction tonight on Nightside. Reporting in the studio, Julian Minnesone, 4 News Now Sports.
Pretty sure they're going to take care of this one tonight there. All right, the way you watch sports is about to change with the Warner Brothers, Fox, and ESPN announcing a new joint streaming service. The so far untitled app will concentrate on top sports from the broadcast and cable networks owned by each company, including the NBA, Major League Baseball, and college. It should be available in time for next NFL season. Cord cutters, hoping to save a few bucks, will have access to a kind of skinnier sports-only bundle, though exact pricing hasn't been announced quite yet.
I've been told that the plan is to make it cheaper than your typical cable package. I think most people may be paying anywhere from $70 to $100, depending on the level of premium services they get. So if they can come in under that, you know, 50, 60, I think that's what they're shooting for.
Now, one other benefit of having them in one place, Chris, is only having to remember one password.
I
right?
do that anyway. No, just kidding. Different passwords for everything.
Of course.
Well, I know that my husband has like a hodgepodge of, you know, the Big Ten and and then
I gotta have Pac-12 Network. I gotta have like you know, USA and Peacock for my English Premier League games. So you gotta.
And then sometimes he's like holding up an antenna and he's listening to sports in Spanish because it's impossible to find.
Right.
Oh, well, weather is almost as complicated as a sports package these days, although today it was just all clouds. It seemed like it rained because the streets were wet. It was very, very damp, but not even a sprinkle here at 4 News Now or around the Spokane area. You may have had some sprinkles at your house, but it was mostly just a gray. Here's a look at our satellite and radar. You have to go south down around Lewiston, get some very light precipitation around Orofino. You may have had a flurry or two around the Pullman area, and we will start to see a better chance of some very light precipitation around mainly North Idaho overnight, with some very light rain possible in Spokane tomorrow afternoon. Our high temperatures today were in the upper 30s and 40s in most locations. Temperatures slow to cool with that overcast. It's keeping things a little bit warmer, and we should stay above freezing in the Spokane and Coeur d'Alene area overnight. 34 degrees to start the day with overcast conditions and the chance of some very light rain in the afternoon. That high of 39 is just about average. 38 our average high. I'll be back with your 7-day forecast. Plus, it is Wildlife Wednesday. I have some amazing critters to share with you in just a few minutes, Derek.
All right, looking forward to it. The battle against PFAS, also called Forever Chemicals, continues in Spokane's West Plains neighborhood. Tonight, Fairchild Air Force Base invited the public to give an update on the current cleanup process. Our Peter Choi is live with what we learned. Peter?
Yeah, Derek, the open house for the public is happening right behind me at the Shriners Event Center, and they all came here with one goal: to get their questions about PFAS contamination answered. Now, earlier this afternoon, the meeting was held between the Fairchild Air Force Base and the Restoration Advisory Board. And there are two things that the Fairchild Air Force Base says it has completed. The military officials say they have completed getting PFAS samples from 427 private wells. When they found the contamination, they provided water bottles and filtering systems for those who are impacted. I spoke to a member of West Plains Water Pollution after the meeting, and listen to what she has to say.
They came with answers, but with questions, but they weren't really given any clear insights or opportunity really to ask questions.
Now, the military official also provided funding resource called TAB for those who want to bring outside experts. And they say they're looking for the best ways to keep community members informed right now. Now, many community members I spoke to, they said they weren't satisfied with the meeting tonight. And coming up on Nightside, we'll tell you what they're hoping to see moving forward. Live in Spokane County, Peter Choi, 4 News Now.
All right, Peter, thank you. A new bill that would ban federal health care programs from limiting care to patients with disabilities or chronic illnesses just passed the House. House Bill 485, authored by Congresswoman Kathy McMorris Rodgers, would put a stop to federal entities using quality-adjusted life years to approve whether or not treatment for certain patients is cost-effective enough to be paid for by the government. Under former President Obama's Patient Protection and Affordable Care Act, Medicare was already banned from that practice. But But right now, the VA and Medicaid still discriminate against patients with certain disabilities and long-term illness.
We're all just one car accident or one diagnosis away from having a disability ourselves. I hope that banning the use of discriminatory measures by federal payers against people with disabilities and chronic illness and affirming every person's life has value is something that we can agree on.
Today, it narrowly passed on a party line vote. The bill now heads to the Senate for consideration. A bill that would hold graffiti taggers accountable is now one step closer to becoming law. The House unanimously approved the bill that would give judges extra sentencing for anyone convicted of malicious mischief and criminal street gang tagging and graffiti. If approved, a judge would be able to require offenders to perform at least 24 hours of community service, including cleaning up their own work. It now heads to the state Senate for consideration. With Super Bowl weekend and Valentine's Day on the way, there are plenty of opportunities to entertain. Charcuterie boards have blown up in the last few years. Plenty of local shops sell them, including downtown Spokane's Wanderlust Delicato. The small business allows you to explore meats and cheeses made locally and all over the world right in downtown Spokane. Wanderlust owner says charcuterie boards are the ultimate crowd pleaser for your next party, and they're easy to assemble.
It can sit out on your counter for hours and it's not going to make anyone sick. It's beautiful to look at. It's fun to talk about. It's an interactive, kind of social thing, right? So you can talk about the different cheeses.
If you aren't up for assembling a board of your own, many local spots have them ready to pick up. You can check out Wanderlust through the link on our website, KXLY.com. Still ahead, a preview of some of the biggest ads that will air this Sunday during the Super Bowl. Don't go away.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
4 News Now is brought to you by Post Falls Volkswagen.
This Valentine's Day, get a Heartbaker pizza from Papa Murphy's. You complete us. And we mean that literally. With Take and Bake, we prepare it, you make it yours. So make us yours today for just $11. Papa Murphy's, change the way you pizza.
Every time you use your ICCU Premier Rewards Visa card, you're earning rewards. Whether it's cash back or points, being a member of Idaho Central really pays back. Start earning points and getting cash back for your everyday purchases. It's a win-win. Idaho Central Credit Union. We believe life should be rewarding.
Hi, I'm Robert Sacre. You may know me from my basketball career. But what you don't know is I'm a father of 4, and life can get pretty chaotic. Let's go. So that's why I'm getting a vasectomy at North Idaho Urology, so I can finally sit back and enjoy the madness.
Vasectomy season is back. Scheduled today in North Idaho Urology.
At Fisher Investments, we may look like other money managers, but we're different. You can't be that different. We are. We have a team of specialists not only in investing, but also in financial and estate planning and more.
Your clients rely on you for all that?
Yes, and as a fiduciary, we always put their interests first.
But you still sell commission-based products, right?
No, we have a simple management fee structured so we do better when our clients do better.
Huh, we're more different than I thought.
At Fisher Investments, we're clearly different.
We're not supposed to be out here, which is exactly why we are. With standard all-wheel drive, specially tuned off-road drive mode, designed to bring the outdoors in. The off-road ready Mazda CX-50. We're looking for outsiders.
Discover nature's most unique adventures in a Mazda CX-50. Available for immediate delivery at Foothills Mazda or shop now at SpokaneMazda.com.
This Valentine's Day, get a Heartbaker pizza from Papa Murphy's. You complete us. And we mean that literally. With Take and Bake, we prepare it, you make it yours. So make us yours today for just $11. Papa Murphy's, change the way you pizza.
Well, what you're looking at is the People's Choice Award for the best photo of the year. It's called Icebed, and as you can see, it's a polar bear just taking a sweet little nap on an iceberg. It was taken off of Norway's Svalbard archipelago. The photographer says he hopes it inspires hope that there's still time to reverse climate change. Little guy just taking a sweet little nap. Hopefully that iceberg doesn't drift out too far.
I know.
Break off and drift out.
That is a sweet photo. Those polar bears, not necessarily sweet from what I understand, but
and a nice transition here to Wildlife Wednesday.
Yes, and I feel like some of our photographers should enter that photo of the year, because we have some good ones every week, and this is no exception. And we're going to start off with, look at this face. There's a face of the year here from Mark Vogt, a yearling bighorn sheep ewe. And just a young lady here having a bite to eat. You can see the straw sticking out of her mouth and looking healthy and bright-eyed and beautiful. Thank you, Mark, for that. Speaking of beautiful ladies, Michelle Fassler-Hall shared this photo of a cow elk just relaxing with the herd. She's sitting in the snow, a little damp, but a beautiful, beautiful elk. Thank you very much, Michelle. And from Mark Inman. I love this picture. It is so pretty, of a northern shrike in Turnbull National Wildlife Refuge, imaged expertly by Mark. But we did learn last week that northern shrikes are vicious, vicious birds, nicknamed the butcher bird, and I'm thrilled that those little spikes all around this bird are empty. They evidently kill more than they can eat and then hang what they are saving for later on spikes. So anyway, there you go, northern shrike. Forecast rain through the day tomorrow. Very, very light precipitation, especially Columbia Basin up through the Okanagan and the Waterville Plateau. A sprinkle, if anything, may see a flurry, but accumulations through tomorrow evening are going to be in general in the hundreds of an inch. Until you get south of I-90 and into the central panhandle, then we'll see some heavier precipitation and not just rain, but also some snow. Now, these snowfall totals take us through Friday at noon, and really by Friday at about 8 or 9, we should be done with the snow, but we are looking at just a 1/10 of an inch in Sandpoint, with some higher totals in the mountains surrounding Sandpoint, most notably Schweitzer. Coeur d'Alene, a 1/10 of an inch, but we do see some higher totals once we get into the mountains of the central panhandle and then down into the southern panhandle. The Palouse, you could see some measurable snow through Friday morning, up to a 1/2 inch in some locations. Pullman, 3/10 of an inch. Here's a look at your planning forecast. In Spokane tomorrow, the chance of some very light rain, possibly mixed with snow. Because of the timing, I think it's more likely that we're going to see a few sprinkles in the afternoon. Friday morning, we could see that little bit of light snow, and then we should be done with the wet weather for the day, mostly dry on Saturday, high of 38, with more rain and snow mix coming in for Sunday. Just a slight chance of wet weather Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Meanwhile, overnight lows cooler than they have been. We have had almost 2 weeks of overnight lows above freezing. We're finally slipping below in the 7-day forecast, Eric.
All right, Chris, thanks so much. Well, a massive search is underway in Southern California for the 5 Marines who went missing after their helicopter crashed. So far, they've found the chopper, but no sign of the Marines. The San Diego County Sheriff's Department says it received a call just before 2 in the morning asking for help, but its own helicopter could not reach the search area because of extreme weather. It's still not clear what caused the helicopter to go down. COVID vaccines aren't only good for preventing serious illness from the disease, they might also help prevent premature births. Researchers at the University of Wisconsin-Madison looked at birth records of siblings born to the same mother in California from 2014 to 2023. They found that COVID-19 infection at the time of delivery posed the largest risk of preterm birth early on in the pandemic and then decreased over time, likely because of the COVID vaccine. The decline in the preterm birth rate happened at the same time as COVID vaccines became widespread. While everyone's at risk of getting sick during the winter, experts are warning that people with heart conditions are at an increased risk from the circulating respiratory viruses. Inflammation from the flu, COVID, RSV, and other viruses can sometimes lead to heart failure. If you have heart disease and are feeling symptoms from an infection, don't assume it's nothing to worry about.
If you already have risk factors that lead to heart disease, such as high cholesterol, high blood pressure, or other things like that, then you may actually end up having a heart attack.
To help prevent illness, experts recommend staying up to date on flu and COVID vaccines and getting an RSV vaccine if you're eligible. Well, NASA scientists may have discovered a potentially habitable super-Earth that's close by, relatively speaking, of course. The scientists say the planet is orbiting a small reddish star that's only 137 light years away. It's called TOI 715b, and it's roughly 1.5 times as wide as Earth. NASA also says it orbits within the conservative habitable zone around its parent star. That means that it could give the exoplanet the right temperature for liquid water to form on its surface. I'm up. Let's go. All right, here is a look at ABC's primetime lineup for later tonight.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Spokane Tribe Resort and Casino brings you actor and comedian Tracy Morgan to Spokane Live. Saturday, February 24th. Tickets are available online now at SpokaneTribeCasino.com. Entertainment without limits.
It's a parent, not me.
Nice going, Lou. Nothing like a little confidence boost to help ease you back into the dating scene. That includes having a smile you feel good about. Fortunately, Aspen Dental specializes in dentures and implants made just for you. And with flexible financing, you don't need to sacrifice quality work for a price that fits your budget at $0 down plus 0% interest if paid in full in 18 months. Helping our patients put their best smile forward. It's one more way Aspen Dental is in your corner.
Our motto here at Holiday Heating is fixed right or it's free. That means that we'll get the job done right the first time, and if we don't,
we will own up to that and we will take care of it for you for free.
Fixed right or it's free means that we are accountable for the 100% satisfaction of our customers.
We'll come back and get the job done and with no additional charge to the customer.
We are humans and we do make mistakes, but we are here to make it right and make sure our customers know that.
Looking for a great deal on a John Deere compact tractor? Right now, Pape Machinery is blowing out select model year 2023 inventory at dealer cost. Pick up a brand new John Deere compact tractor for a fraction of the original price. We also have great pricing on hundreds of in-stock implements to customize the tractor of your dreams. Hurry in, this offer won't last long. Stop by a Pape Machinery Ag and Turf store to take advantage today.
The President's Day Overstock clearance is kicking off early at all Walker's Furniture and Mattress stores with special offers and overstock discounts on over $10 million of in-stock furniture and mattresses for every room in your home.
Get that new bedroom set or that living room furniture you've been waiting for, or the new hot styles that just arrived with 0% interest financing, making it the perfect time to furnish your life for less at Walker's.
Spokane Tribe Resort and Casino brings you actor and comedian Tracy Morgan to Spokane Live. Saturday, February 24th. Tickets are available online now at SpokaneTribeCasino.com. Entertainment without limits.
4 News Now is brought to you by Findlay Downtown Toyota.
Having a blast. Winning. Losing.
He's going to need another bicep. House party.
Definitely.
Let's go!
In order to remember something, you got to forget something else. Make a little room.
For some, they are the best part of the Super Bowl, and companies shell out massive amounts of cash to try to have one of the most memorable commercials of the big game. Tonight, we want to give you a preview of some of the most star-studded ads. ABC's Danny New has the story.
I know why you're here.
You do?
20 years after the finale of Friends, and we're finally getting a Ross and Rachel reunion. Except in this Super Bowl Uber Eats ad, Jennifer Aniston's having a little trouble putting a face to the name.
Jen. Hey. Okay.
Can we not?
And how about one more TV reunion? Parks and Recreation's Nick Offerman and Aubrey Plaza riding dragons together in the name of Mountain Dew.
I can have a blast anytime, anywhere.
And with anyone? During this year's Super Bowl, we can expect to see plenty of big names, Kate McKinnon, Tina Fey, LL Cool J, with advertisers paying an estimated $7 million for a 30-second slot.
Just this.
You look like the Pringles guy.
No, I don't. But that's not counting the production costs, like hiring Chris Pratt to transform into Mr. P.
Do I get a cut?
And we'll even enjoy a cameo from a real-life couple. Ben Affleck poking fun at his instant meme Hall of Fame induction when he looked very bored next to his wife Jennifer Lopez at the Grammys last year. J-Lo shared this to Instagram.
He's bored. No. Studying. Always watching. You can do that. Why can it be?
What's going on, baby? I had this crazy dream you're gonna laugh. I had come up with like some beats, and then you were like, maybe you should put that on the record. I even had like a persona like J-Lo or like B-Lo. That's the bad version, obviously. Do you have any time today? I understand.
Danny New, ABC News, New York.
We'll be watching for all of those. Let's take a live look over a beautiful night in downtown Spokane as we head to a break. We'll be back with one last look at your 7-day forecast. Stay with us.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app.
Ready for action? It's no holds barred as King of the Cage features new and upcoming MMA stars battling it out for the next big ticket fight. King of the Cage live at Coeur d'Alene Casino Thursday, February 15th.
Winning is just the beginning.
Oh my God.
I'm scared, Daddy.
Are you family? I've never seen these people before in my life.
The Connors, season premiere tonight on ABC.
Hi, I'm Shane Goff, and I wasn't born a Wendell, but I believe in the Wendell way. That's why I've dedicated 30 years to Wendell Motors.
I'm Kristen Goff, and I am a Wendell. Our dealership has been in business for nearly 80 years.
Because at Wendell, it's not about me, the famous Mr. Wendell, Kristen, or even our kids.
It's about the we and developing the Wendell way,
with the goal of creating the most trusted local dealership in the region.
The Wendell name is much bigger than me. It's about the we. It's built into our culture.
Wendell's commitment is evident by providing what's best for our customers, our employees, and our community. It's paved the way for us to be one of the last local dealerships standing.
When you're thinking about where to buy your next vehicle, let Wendell earn your business.
We'll be sure to take care of you before and after the sale, for generations to come.
We are Wendell, locally and family owned, where you can drive for generations.
I've always been drawn to artists like this. Yeah, me too. This used to be one of my favorites when I was younger. Hear me? Yeah, after you quit the firm and follow your passion.
Face your future with Whitworth University.
BECU would like to congratulate Northeast Youth Center grant recipient of the People Helping People Award in Spokane.
Northeast Youth Center serves as a way for families, single parents, to be able to work. Our mission is to take care of their children for them so they can take care of their families. We have a variety of different children with a variety of different behaviors here. That generous grant from BECU will help us to be able to sustain all the activities that we do here.
Queen Nation, the ultimate tribute to the music of Queen, live at the Coeur d'Alene Casino Thursday, March 7th. Get your tickets now for the #1 ranked Queen Tribute Act.
Winning is just the beginning.
4 News Now is brought to you by Move Fitness.
All right, coming up tonight on Nightside, the battle against PFAS, also called Forever Chemicals, continues in Spokane's West Plains neighborhood. While the Air Force Base is taking responsibility, many people impacted say it's still not enough. What they want from Fairchild moving forward.
It's going to be a gray day tomorrow with the possibility of some very light rain or snow. Minor accumulations of snow possible through Friday morning in North Idaho. But boy, I think a dusting, if anything, in Spokane.
Okay, as long as the mountains are still getting some. They need it for that snowpack, right?
Yes, they do, and for the fun, too, the skiing.
Exactly. All right, Chris, thank you so much. Thank you for being with us. We'll be back tonight at Nightside at 11. Julian Minnesone will have all you need from Gonzaga's big win over Portland as well.
Live stream KXLY Plus on the 4 News Now app. See breaking news in your area or have a story idea? Contact 4 News Now.